What's up, everybody? Y'all already know who this is. It's your girl, your big sis, Elle Vintage. You already know what we came to do. We came to slay. We ain't come to play. Stage left, one and done with my man, my big brother, Kenny KP Walker. Jerseys,
What up?
traveling migrant up and down the coast. We do this. We don't come to play. We do this, and grateful to be here with Kenny tonight. He's a blessing to the poetry world, music, all of the above. And yo, listen, if you don't know this man, trust and believe. I'm gonna give you some time to actually learn who he is. If you don't know, you're gonna find out tonight. You dig? Stage left right here on your number one social media platform. Dig it. I need y'all to follow me, right? Go on over to IG. Click like, follow, share 609 Stage Left and Vintage, right? And then hop on over to Facebook and do the same. Just drop the 609. It's just Stage Left. You see my happy face smiling all around, doing what we do best. You know how we get down. Listen, we love this thing called poetry. These words that we spit and that we talk heavy because we've experienced them. We know what it is. We enjoy, we have a passion and a hunger and a growth for this world of poetry, this scene that's vast, and it's ever so different for us. You know, we've been doing this thing for a while. Kenny, how long you been on the scene?
I've been on the scene real steady for the last 10 years, but I've been I've been on the scene since, for, I guess, a good 20, 25 years. I started when I was in my 20s, and I'm in my 50s now. So I've been on the scene. You know, I got married, had kids. So I took a couple of years off and came back. And actually, 25 years at least.
Wow.
Because even times when I wasn't doing poetry, I've had bands. And the bands were, when I wasn't going to open mics, I wasn't going to poetry events, I had bands. And the bands were me fronting with my spoken word and having bands play behind me. So,
word, big ups to that, man. Likewise, I've been on the scene since 2002, and you know, it doesn't. And this, you know, what's crazy about poetry is I hear a lot of people talk about, you know, I'm outgrowing this. I'm doing this. This is not what I want to do anymore. But a lot of people don't evolve in this genre. You know what I mean? A lot of us stay stagnant in just stage to stage, and we don't grow. You know what I mean? I past few events, I've met poets who are now not just poets, but they're also filmmakers. They're also production stage managers. They do a lot more on the scene of arts and behind the scenes of the arts. And I think that's where the hunger and the love grows even more deeper by just pressing into each avenue and each stream that we can. Because listen, even movie stars, you know, even MCs and rappers, this is where their home base was, but they knew they had to grow effectually in order to make sure that, you know, people got to hear these words. People got to feel what I feel in the atmosphere. We got to continue to keep putting it down in there. And I'm grateful for that. And it's definitely been a blessing. And I hear so many people say, you can't make a living at this. Well, you know, we do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? That just means the hustle and the flow. It don't stop. You know, each door we walk through is imperative that we walk through it. Ladies and gentlemen, Stage Left fam, audience out there, let me introduce you to my brother, Kenny KP Walker Jr., one host with the most, Silly Blues, road in North Jersey. We all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Word out production. And we're humble. We're grateful to have you on. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you on this platform. We're gonna talk. We're gonna get it in. I want to read your bio because it's deep. It has a lot of depth to it, and you know, I like giving y'all flowers. Talk about flowers. So hey, here we go. Kenny KP Walker Jr. is a Renaissance man. He is a spoken word artist, event host, producer, owner of a record label, Words Out Productions, podcaster, musician, and and some of Kenny's biggest influence include Langston Hughes, Prince, Stevie Wonder, Fats Waller, Cab Calloway, and the Last Poets. Shout out to the Last Poets. Kenny has used his spoken word talent to front 3 bands: PG Vibe, Straight Truth, and Off Shot. With Off Shot, they produced a 5-song EP titled Funk Marks, the spot by Kenny Walker Jr., and Off Shot that can be found on all streaming platforms. So y'all go check them out. In 2020, during the pandemic, Kenny released his first solo project entitled Throwing Paper that can also be found on all streaming platforms. Kenny KP Walker Jr.'s style of music is to mix spoken word with music, sounds, and singing vocals. In 2021, Kenny Walker Jr. started a record label dedicated to producing spoken word, neo soul, and conscious hip hop called Words Out Production. Adding more versatility to his performance, Kenny has recently started playing bass guitar with his spoken word. Shout out to the bass. Kenny also does 2 different podcasts, Pop Culture Kids with his sister Kathy, and Words Out Productions, which takes you behind the scenes of performing artists. Currently, Kenny Walker Jr. hosts 2 open mics monthly in South Jersey areas, welcoming all forms of talents. Kenny's motto is, as soon as you walk through the door, you are family. So sit back and relax and prepare to have a good time with fam. What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? That's right, because after you walk through the door the first time, we'll get you beverages. Go to the refrigerator and get your stuff. We show you what go. One time. Introduce you that one time. Now your family. So come on in, kick off your shoes and relax your feet. What up, bro? What up? What up? What up?
Oh, man, I am so happy. Look, Al, I am so happy to be here, and I'm so glad you asked me to do this. I feel so blessed to be here. Shout out to Chris Rockwell in the building bro. There. I see Chris in there. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Yeah. You know, so I'm really happy to be here, man. So let's chat it up. Let's see what's going on. You know, also too, you were talking about my band Offshot, and that band broke up about 8 or 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, we broke up, and we were together for like a year and a half. But now we're doing rehearsals because now we're getting back together again.
Word, man. And, nothing like a reunion.
Yeah.
Get us all back, mama. Come to the table for some cornbread.
So expect us to start coming out and doing shows. If not by the end of this year, by next year, once we get our chops together from rehearsal. It's been a while. Like I said, it's been 10 years. So, you know, so yeah, it's fun. I love doing it. And there's one song that we do now where I actually play bass with the band. So, you know, it should be fun.
Wow, man. Listen, I'm humble and I'm grateful to be in your presence, brother, because you know, we've been doing some things for a while. Like I said, shout out to Chris Rockwell and the Chris Rockwell collection, because you know, even prior to us getting together on rock stages, you know, and with rock, we just been like, you know, circling the scene, doing Mississippi Blues, some of up in North Jersey, some of Raymond Tyler's events. Just doing what we do as poets and artists, and making sure that we stay on the scene, clear the scene, and bring what we are to the table. And that's what I love about you, the eclecticness and the open artistry that you do. So you're not just a wordsmith. You sing, you play the bass, You know what I mean? You dance, you two-step a little bit.
Yeah, let's go in on the singing. The singing is just, but I gotta give a shout out to someone. I gotta give a shout out to people like Chris Rockwell and James Ellaby because
Word.
Chris taught me something that I kind of use now too, and we do it for the culture. And sometimes you gotta put your ego aside. A lot of times, a lot of people don't know that you put your ego aside. You do it for the culture, and those people like James Ellaby and Chris Rockwell. Those are the kind of people who kind of get everybody together and kind of get different people together to do different things. And that's pretty much what we need in our community. We need to be more together. It's not a competition. It's not a competition. It's
absolutely
for the culture. Mind you, it's not a competition, but people like Chris and James, I don't like reading behind y'all. I gotta go before y'all. I'm not reading after y'all. But because y'all so good, I don't want to come up and disappoint nobody. There's a couple people I don't like to read after. And the three of y'all are three of them. And I don't like to read after Lost Child, and I don't like to read after Paradise. They're so good, I don't want to disappoint nobody.
Listen, man.
The people I look up to, I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Yo. Listen, shout out to Lost Child, my brother from another mother. And Paradise. Man, listen, it's always a time and it's always a blessing to rock the stage anywhere with any of you guys, because I think what we bring to the table is the perspective that poetry is alive and well. And we see so many artists and so many vast venues that, from venue to venue, we always come across somebody interesting and somebody new. But what never ceases to amaze me is that each one of us in our, who we are, we always bring to the table. And that's the best part about it. I say the same thing sometimes, like, I'm not going after them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Put me up first. No.
Yeah. I go first. And then, let it go from there. I'm not, hey. So, but yeah, I just, we do what we do because we love what we do. And I like what you said earlier about, people saying you can't make money from this.
Right.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. I have been writing poetry since I was 10. And I have been acting on different stage productions in schools, in high school and college and everything. And in grade school and middle school since I was 10, since I was younger. So I've been doing all this kind of stuff. But I was told, and take in mind, I am 57. So I was told back in those days in the 80s that, oh, you're not going to make money doing that. When you go to college, you got to take like business courses or something else because you can't make money doing this. So I didn't really start reading my poetry in public until I was in my mid-20s. So, because I was on my own, I'm like, you know what, let me go and read this stuff out. And that's when I started doing that. But, then I started doing it more. And then I got married and I slowed down a little bit, but then I had my bands and I always had my feet dipped into it, either that or acting or doing something else creative. And I DJ'd for a lot of years and everything like that. So my plan now, at 57, I plan on retiring within the next 5 years, maybe. 5, maybe 6 years. And when I retire, this is what I want to do.
Word.
Like I want
to talk
to
about
doing this. And that's what. And then in my retirement, I don't want to get a job at Walmart. I don't want to get a job doing anything. I just want to do poetry. I just want to produce. I just want to, make this into a business and make things happen and just express my art because it's never too late. You can always do it. And I'm learning also it's never too late. I became to like this rap group from England called Pete and Bass. Pete and
Okay.
Bass, these two grandfathers that are like 70 years old and decided to get into it and started to become a rap duo.
Oh.
And if you ever listen to Pete and Bass, these guys are bad. These guys are just like they put some of these they put some of these young boys doing it to shame. That's how good these
Wow.
guys are. And I'm looking at these guys, they're grandfathers in their 70s, and now they're touring rap shows and stuff like that. If they could do that, you could do. It's never too late for anybody. You can do anything.
I know that's right.
So even in my retirement years, in my late 50s, and my early 60s, I plan on still going strong, doing as many shows as I can, and doing a lot more. I have in my job, people say, "Oh, you should try to get promoted because the more money you make when you retire, the more money you get." And I have friends who aren't artists, and they don't understand when I say this, but I've spent my whole life working and doing things I don't really care for. I can look, as long as I got a roof over my head, I can live in a one-room shack and not have a lot of money. But if I'm doing what I love, I'm like a pig in slop.
Word. Word. I concur, man. I think it's important for us to continue. And it's crazy because I was just telling, like I said, shout out to Highland Park and shout out to Patterson Poetry Festival. Both festivals were absolutely amazing.
Nice.
Shout out to my sister Talina Lachelle Queen and Highland Park Poetry Commission, which totally two different entities, but with the same hunger and thirst for artistry. You know what I'm saying? And for building platforms by which artists can thrive and totally just eclectic room of people, like really a mixed room of people. And I was just telling, I was actually telling one of the magazine writers in Hyde Park that, people don't get this part about artists. You know what I mean? Some people they say what they say. We're lazy. We just want to sit home and do these types of things. But nah, it's not that. In curation, especially when you're creating, you need the space, you need the time, and you need the moments that you can curate and actually focus your mind in on what it is that you love to do. So when we take that time, and like you were saying, this is when I retire, this is what I want to do. That's a plan. That's etched out. You know what I mean? And that time framing of what you love to do brings more joy than anything. You know what I mean? We can create. We're hungry about that creation, and I love the fact that it's not just like you said, Rockwell. He brings people together. You bring people together as well. Like I've never been in a room where I see any KP walking, right? And not a different or a vast view of people who have different things going on. They're not all just poets. Some are rock stars, some are comedians. Bro, the lady that was there at Sealy Blues, when I'm like, bro.
Yeah, that was I believe that was I believe that was Eppolite. I believe that was Eppolite. I think that is the name, yeah. Yeah, it was Eppolite. And Eppolite is I love her. She's so hilarious. She's so off, and she's like that when you actually talk to her too. She's just, and she says she's one of those people that when you talk to them, they're funny when you talk to them also, and they'll say things like, and you're like, and it's just so you can see why she's on stage. But yeah, she is hilarious, and I that's why I tried to put her last that evening because I wanted everybody to leave with a smile because I knew she was going to do that. I knew she was going to do that.
I say, yo, she is wild.
She's wild. She's wild. She is wild.
She cut nothing. She was like, listen, you're gonna get to know me tonight. I was like,
and one of the things I try to do when I host Miss Sealy's, and I put that together for one of the things I try to do is now, like the night you did, I just started doing it. I I have more than one feature, and I have like
Yeah.
2 or 3 different features. And I try to get like a comic, a musician, and a poet, or I might have
Mhm.
like a rapper, a musician, and a poet, a comic, a rapper, and a musician. You know what I mean? So I try to
Yeah.
get different because I want to make it a true open mic. And a true open mic
Word.
is not just poets, not just a one with musicians, not just one with comics, but one where everybody comes in and
Yeah.
kind of works
Yeah.
together and do it all, you know. And it's not just it's getting people of all backgrounds, you
Mhm.
know, black, white, whatever, you know, whatever religion, whatever, but getting people of all backgrounds, putting them on stage and saying, you know, this is the talent, this is what we're doing, you know, and it's great. It's
It
I
works,
love doing it
man.
like that. This month,
I love it when
we
it's
have,
like that.
huh?
I love it when it's like that. You get
Yeah.
people of all genres. You know what I mean?
Well,
And that's
this month our features are going to be the poet Beta Maverick, poet and
yes.
rapper
What up,
Beta Maverick,
man?
and we have a comic coming up. He's from the Burlington area, but he's going to come to Turnersville. His name is Juan Andre. He's a pretty funny
Mm,
guy. And we
okay.
also have the rappers, the Born Guilty Collective.
Oh, word. Yes. I know
So
exactly what it is.
and they're pretty
Okay.
good. And you know, so we're gonna have all those going. And the collective is like 4 or 5 guys all together.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have those features plus the open mic, and that should be a good time. And then we're trying to do something different for November, December.
Okay.
We're calling November and December, you know, Words Out Production just pays for everything month because both months, because what we're doing is what we want to do, and I'm going to reach out to a whole bunch of different artists. What we want to do is in November, we
Mhm.
want to change it to the 3rd Thursday because the 4th Thursday is Thanksgiving. And
Okay.
in December, we want to change it to the 3rd Thursday because the 4th Thursday is the day after Christmas.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
the reason we want to make it the week before is because on the 3rd Thursday in November, we want to do a food drive
Word.
and
Okay.
donate all that food to a local place because everybody's got to eat for Thanksgiving. And
Everybody got to eat.
I really should do a turkey drive, really. And then on December, we want to have a toy drive.
Okay. Word.
So in that
Word.
way, and what we want to do is instead of like usually we charge $5 to get in the door, $10 to if you're not performing, if you're a spectator or whatnot. But if you want to come into our show in
Mhm.
November, bring non-perishable food.
Word. Word. I'm
Don't
actually donating. I'm gonna send some food, some
bring
finances.
on if you want to come to our show, if you want to get on the mic in December, you want to
Mhm.
come jump on the mic in December, bring a toy. There's no
Word.
all November, December, admission is waived. Bring food donations or bring a toy in both those different months, and that's what we're gonna do. And you know, it's
Y'all hear?
it's not always about the money. It's not about the
True
money.
that. True.
Like you
True.
know, we're gonna spend the money to rent the hall, rent facilities, and everything else. It's not about the money.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's about giving back. And if you
I
can't
know
give back
that's
on
right.
this season, you know, in that season now, this is the time you need to give back. There's a lot of people who need
Word.
help, and especially with everything going on with the hurricane and everything, there's a lot of people who need help. And even coming in the months to come, people are going to need help. So
Yeah.
let's help
Absolutely.
them. That's
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
and for me, it's all about karma too, because I totally
Mhm.
believe that when you give out good karma comes back to you. I don't do
Word.
things so good karma can come back to me, but I like to give out that good karma.
Word. Speaking of hurricanes, shout out to everybody down in Florida. My
Yes.
big brothers down in Orlando in the wake in the eye of Hurricane Milton. Prayers up. We've been checking in and making sure everybody is good. It's disheartening in some areas already.
Very it's a very
Yeah.
scary thing. And matter of fact, I was
Yes.
supposed to take a trip to Florida to help a friend of mine this weekend. And I
Mm.
texted him today. I was like, look, I don't think we're gonna be able to make this trip, man. We're gonna drive down. and we had to take some business and drive up. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna make this trip, man, because
it's gonna be dangerous.
Closed.
Yeah, yeah. Most of the major bridges are already closed. And then my brother was telling me that as a matter of fact, right now nobody's allowed on the road. If people are still trying to get out, there were people still trying to get out, and so
I saw a tape of people trying to get out, and the roads they were on a bridge, and the bridge is flooded.
Yeah, man, listen.
You're stuck.
Prayers up.
Yeah, Florida, prayers up. I hope they can get them unstuck, because they're gonna have to leave their cars behind and just go.
Yeah, and it's you can't play with Mother Nature. You can't play with God.
No,
you gotta do what you gotta do and get on out while you can. But we praying for everybody down there, and we'll be checking in.
I believe too. We've had a lot of weather issues between these storms and the heat issues that we've had, and things like that, and a lot of weird weather combinations like last winter and everything else. A lot of that is global warming.
Yes,
we really had to do something. We really had to encourage our government to do something about this. You kind of have to look at it like this. And I hate to say this, but you kind of have to look at it like the Earth is always going to be here.
Yeah.
And now we keep polluting the Earth and treating it like we're treating it. We are the virus that the Earth will need to get rid of.
Yeah.
Simple.
Talk about it.
Because people don't. Right now, we are the virus, and now with the global warming and everything changing, Earth is telling us, y'all messing up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Our God is saying, hey, I gave you this, and y'all kind of messing this up. I'm gonna have to tell you something.
Yeah. We got to learn. We got to learn as people, man. And it's taking some time. Some people are a little brick-headed than others.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Most definitely.
But let's talk Words Out production.
Yes.
And the direction that you see, the vision that you have for Words Out production. I know you guys. You have a studio. You're doing some podcasting and also the shows. So let us know how you began with Words Out production and the vision that you have. Are you on course in that vision, or because sometimes with our vision, we got to tweak a little bit here and tweak a little bit there.
I'm doing a lot of tweaking. I'll be honest with you. I'm doing a lot of tweaking. It's one of the things where you learn as you go, and I'm doing tons of tweaking. And here's the thing. Nothing's going to go exactly as you plan it. So you have to be able to make adjustments. When life, you have to make life fit. It's like one of my favorite movies is a Western called Silverado. And the one character is very short, and she, goes behind the bar and she gets taller. And the guy looks over and she has built a ramp behind the bar because she's so short. And she's like, when life doesn't work, you got to make it fit for what you want. And that's what you have to do. And that's what I'm basically doing. I'm still moving on and struggling on. But I'll be honest with you. I'm being honest truth with you and your audience. I am a creator.
Yeah.
I'm a poet.
Come on, man.
I'm a musician. And I know my faults and I know my flaws. And one of my flaws is I suck at business.
You gotta get you a team, brother.
Like somehow asked me like how much you charge to do X, Y, Z. I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. Buy me a chicken sandwich. Like I suck at it, man. I'm not good, And I at one point I thought I had a team for Words Out Productions when I first started, and that didn't work out because people fall by the waysides. And now I'm trying to create a new team, but it's not quite working out the way I want it to. So I guess my whole thing now is trying to create that perfect team to get things going the way I want them to go. But I have been in the studio with Chris Rockwell and Beta Maverick, and we have, I have some great recordings that I need to put out with these guys on it and get things moving along. But life be life and things happen. So here we are.
Yeah, no doubt.
So you know, it is what it is. But the stuff we have out is this. I mean, when Chris and Beta into the studio, we did 3 songs that day, and it took us about 4 hours to do 3 songs. And Chris and Beta are on 2 of them. It's just them 2. And one of them is me and Beta doing my piece Walk with Beta rapping in it. And it's a phenomenal piece. And also Ayana Webb is on one of the songs singing the background. And, you know, we have a funny story that we always joke about that day because Chris and Ayana, I don't think they have ever met before that day. And Chris didn't realize Ayana could sing. And we need to get a hook in there. Chris wrote a hook, and we're talking about it. And I'm like, well, Ayana can sing it. And she's like, yeah, I'll sing it. And then Chris looked at Ayana before he gave her what he wanted. Do you need to go warm up or something, or you need to practice first? And Ayana kind of looked at him like, please. He gave him a look like, please. And he's like, and let me tell you, Ayana got in there and tore it up.
Wow, that's what's up.
Killed
she has a dope voice.
Killed it. Ayana killed it without a doubt.
Wow.
She like, and she's in there singing, and we're all looking at each other. Me, Veda, Chris, and my daughter was there filming some things, and the engineer Bob. Bob was looking at him. Bob was like, and all 4 of us looking at each other like, and Bob's like, "Where'd you get this girl from?" And we're just like, she just killed it.
Yeah,
so it's that one with Beta, Ayana, and Chris is a phenomenal tune. Phenomenal. I love it more than the one that I recorded that day. It's so great. I can't wait to see you guys in here.
I gotta get with Beta because he's been inboxing me. He wants to.
I would love for Words Out Productions to produce a track with you and Beta, with Beta making the music and you doing something. That's why he's probably been reaching out to you because I said reach out to Elle because I want to get both of y'all in the studio and do a track together, and we're gonna put it under Words Out Productions.
Listen, I'm down. You're already.
Let's do it.
You don't come and play, me come and play, man.
And that's the other thing I want Words Out Productions to do. I'm trying to get it where people like us and Chris and Beta and everybody who's like really good artists that I know that are right here in the South Jersey area. I want to, and then we can expand once we do that. But I want to make it so Words Out Productions gets us on the map.
Yeah, man.
Like I want to make South Jersey a place where people look around and go, "Oh, wait a minute, what they doing over in South Jersey?" That was my original dream. That was my dream for Words Out Productions. Like I want people to look and say, "Wow, what are they doing over there in South Jersey?" Like, damn, they got spoken word, they got neo soul, they got conscious rap, they got what the heck is going on over there? So I just kind of wanted to be. I would say I wanted to be the P Diddy of poetry, but I don't want to be the P Diddy of anything right now. So.
slide. Yeah.
I got no baby. Look, I got no babies, so there's no baby oil in my house. I'm just saying.
20,000 bottles though.
There's no baby oil at all in my house.
Jeez.
Okay.
No baby oil. Every time I sit in the aisle. Wow.
Hey.
That's what's up, though. I love that part of your vision and continuing. It's growing. And Beta Mav he's man. The first time I ever heard him was when we did Sister Jean's Kitchen, and when we went over to we were in the city, and I'm like, bro, what kind of bars? And just him just keep going. When you talk about 80 bars. These cats nowadays, these young rappers don't know nothing about 80 bars, man. They don't know about 80 bars. You know what I mean? But Beta consistently
Yes.
you bar after bar after bar, and he like, yeah, I can keep going. I'm like, stop it, because you burning the mic right now. But
And
I think
Beta,
that
the thing I like about Beta is I love this about Beta. Beta has a pull up mentality, whereas when I was doing the Porch Fest,
yeah,
when I do the Porch Fest Sunday, like a week before that, a week and a half or so before that, I called up Beta and I'm like, hey, I know you got this new release coming out. How would you like to promote your new release and do that piece that we do together on
wow,
Sunday on this thing? It's like, oh yeah, I'm down. Let's go. Let's do it.
word,
And this is
word.
not the first time. That wasn't the first time I've ever called Beta and said, hey, how would you like to do X, Y, and Z? It's like, all right, I'm there. Let's go. Like
Yeah.
just like that.
And he fills in like it's nothing, for him. And that's what I love
Yeah.
about his aura, his creativity, and what he
Yeah.
does.
He
He's
does,
a
Beta definitely has a
talented
very
artist.
positive vibe about him,
Yes,
which is great to be around. And as artists, we need to be around positive vibe people.
yes.
That's that because when
That
you're around
energy.
people with negative vibes, it kind of stumps your creative juices.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. When I don't feel that in the atmosphere, I'll be like, listen, I'm gonna hit this stage and I'm getting up out of here. And I try not to.
You know what?
You know what I mean? I like to hear everybody, but there are some places where, and this is, I'm hoping that you can attest to this and speak to this, but there are some places where you do get that weird vibe, and you're like, wait a minute,
Oh yeah.
that's not really feeding the energy in the room. And a lot of times when I walk in the atmosphere, the first thing I do, first of all, I always pray before I go in the atmosphere, because I always want to give people something that they can remember, right?
Right.
But when you feel that type of energy, it really draws you away. It's like something ain't really cooking in this atmosphere. Something has to change, and then it becomes
Just not feeling
that
it.
brittle
Just not
dryness.
feeling it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I don't like brittle, dry atmospheres. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, what's
No.
happening here? So it's like when you hop on the stage is okay. Now I know, and I think about this often. Now I know what I need to do, because
Right.
this crowd needs a different perspective of energy, and it needs to feel that energy to come alive. Because if people are asleep, you know what I mean, they don't want to hear anything. They don't want to. They're like, all right, this ain't really what I'm feeling. So in all essence, being the poet and the artist that I am, that's, you know what I mean, what I love about you guys. When you hit a stage, Kenny KP walk out there, he going, and I love the bass now, because that's an added specialty to your repertoire. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But
Yes.
we come with different 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 vials of artistry, where we can step into this arena. If the vibe is like this, we can bring something here. If the vibe is like this, we can bring something over here.
Right.
And that's what the evolving part of being a poet and an artist, what we do, brings to the table, and everybody can understand that. You know what I mean? Some people are like, I'm gonna just read this. It's gonna be dry, but I don't really care. And you're like,
no. You gotta. And sometimes too, you have an idea of, especially if you're at an open mic, even if you have a feature set, you have an idea of what you're going to perform, and you might have a set list. But then after you feed off the crowd or read off the crowd, that is subject to change. That is. I went to one. I went to one. I went to a Voice and Power reading, and years ago, and it was one poet, and it was two poets talking to me, and one of them was Lost Child. And by now, I'm known for throwing the papers around. And they looked at me and go, "Yo, Kenny, you gonna throw some paper?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna read something new that I have," and this, that, and they're looking at me all disappointed, like, "Yeah, but we
no.
we thought you were gonna throw paper. Like, you can't get up and not throw paper." Like I said, "Yeah, but this one I got in memory, so I'm just gonna do that." It's like, so you're not gonna throw paper? I'm like,
Oh
you know
my
what?
God.
I'm gonna change up. I'm gonna do it through paper.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You know what the hunger is for. Oh, you
yeah,
gonna do this? No, that's my joint.
you
Be
know,
like, okay.
okay, well, there you go.
I,
So
I
yeah,
had I had a special request. Let me throw some paper around. But yo, and honestly, like yo, that's your specialty, man. When I see you throwing them jaws around, like, yeah, and I'm read this, bang. That's like okay, KP in the building.
yeah, oh yeah, man. I
KP,
got to throw some paper. I got to bring Janet on the stage with me and play my bass, and I bring Janet on, play my bass, and I have a that's my acoustic bass. I have an electric bass. I don't play a lot, but I'm gonna start bringing it out more, and that's Langston.
word.
Um,
Okay.
my electric bass. I have an acoustic and electric, and really I'm just I look. I decided to learn how to play the bass because a couple reasons. Every band that I had three bands, and every band that I had, the bass player and the drummer got the most groupies and the most chicks.
You know what? Right.
And
This
I tried
always,
drums, I couldn't do it.
always.
I tried drums, I couldn't do it, so I picked up the bass. It's still not working for me. It's still not
Oh
working.
my
I'm still single. It's still not working for me, but that's okay. I'm all right with that because I got a lot of work to
God.
do. I don't need nobody tying me down. But
Hey man.
I also too, it's very hard to get musicians to play with you. So I learned about a
Yeah.
year, maybe a year and a half ago, a year ago, I started learning how to play bass. And I have
Mhm.
an excellent instructor, a young man who's actually my son's age. He's like early 30s. And his name is Kevin Sabo. And he plays bass in a band called Out of the Beer Space. And this kid is
Wow.
like, this kid is like, um, he is he can play bass, he plays guitar, and he is excellent. And his way of teaching me was asking me why I want to learn the bass, what kind of music I want to play, and I said I want to play like jazz, blues, R&B. And I gave him, I like Prince, Last Poets, like really funk stuff. I like really like
Mhm.
funk stuff, and that's why I want to go along with my spoken word, and that's why I'm learning. So I learned some cover songs, and I've learned enough to start making my own bass lines to my spoken
Word.
word piece, which is
Mm.
which is fun. And I
Yeah.
have a new one that
Beautiful.
I just started playing in public 2 weeks ago with my bass, and it's pretty good. It's pretty cool. So and I have another one that I'm going to start working on probably tonight. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I gotta
Listen,
see how.
man, I'm telling you, that's my hidden secret. I love to get up on the stage and rock out with a band. And for a long
Oh yeah.
time,
Oh yeah.
I worked with I don't know if you are familiar with Sweet Friend Sean. She's
No,
down
I
in
don't think
Delaware.
I am.
Yeah, she's down in Delaware. And when I first met her, she was doing a event, one of her own events. It was called Soul Opera, and it was a lot of singing. And it was a band from Delaware. Matter of fact, they actually get ready to do their anniversary. I wanted to go down, but I can't. Side Soul. When I tell you, they rock out hard. You get on the stage with them, they know exactly how to formulate your key. Listen, when I tell you, and I've rocked out with a lot of people. Dave Bond, a lot of people. And it's just when you get that perspective on a stage, you're able to go into a lot of different arenas. And a lot of times when I get with the musicians, it's like, listen, y'all do your thing. Y'all
Well,
already know I got it.
I want to tell you something. I've always loved music my whole life, like anybody else, and I've really loved the music. And I've always wanted to play an instrument. And when I was a kid, my parents got me guitar lessons, and I really wasn't that good. I wasn't focused enough. When I started reading poetry in public, I was doing it without music, and I loved, especially since college, I've loved
Mhm.
jazz, like really loved
Okay.
jazz. And in college,
Yes.
I took a music appreciation course, and it played Birdland by Weather Report for me. And it was something about Birdland by Weather Report that I'm just like, I gotta get more jazz. I gotta hear more.
Yeah.
So
All
now
right.
my
Wow.
collection, I got like, I got a lot of jazz artists in my collection and on my playlist and everything. But in any event, back when I first started reading poetry in public, I would read with papers in front of me like this, shaking.
Yeah.
And then I went to an open mic at a jazz club that was in Merchantville, New Jersey, called Serengeti. And at Serengeti, I got up and did spoken word with the band. And I started hanging out there a lot more. And I was like 25 years old. And these guys were like 60, 70-year-old guys playing upright bass and piano, playing all blues by Miles Davis and saying, all right, man, jump in and let me jump in and do spoken word. And then I just had an ear for music. And the first time I did it, I was very nervous. And they're playing, and I'm sitting, before the story, before I got on stage, this guy was on trumpet, and he was killing it on trumpet. Wow. Everybody knew who he was, and he goes, sits down. He's in the back at the bar with this beautiful blonde. Then I get up and I start doing spoken word with the band, and then slowly I'm kind of nervous. And next thing I know, he left the blonde, and next thing I know, he's behind me. Goes, keep going. And as I'm speaking, he starts playing trumpet word for word behind me. And then after we were done, he's like, dude, you start doing spoken word with the band, man. It reminded, because he was a little older than me. He's like, yo, remind me of back in the day and this, that, and the other. And I just had to get up there. I hope you don't mind. I said, dude, I loved it. It was great. And from there, I had my band PG Vibe, which stood for Poetically Gifted Vibe. And then I had hey, Dave was in the house. And then I had Straight Truth. And Straight Truth had like, at one point we had like 10 people in our band. So we had 2 female singers, me doing spoken word. We had 2 guitar players, a bass player, a drummer, a percussionist, a sax player, and a keyboard player. And we was just like, it was like a big thing. But, and then when that broke up, then I had Offshot, which was like 4 of us. And these guys all wanted to do rock, and they did cover band stuff. And I want to do funk, and I want to do original stuff. So we met in the middle, and we made a funk rock sound.
Wow.
With the spoken word. And if anybody goes on any streaming platform, you type in Kenny Walker Jr. and Offshot, you will find us. And we have like a 5, and it's some of the best work I think I've ever done. Wow. And and not excluding a couple of songs of my single album that I did, Throwing Paper, which I like getting people together. And when I did Throwing Paper, there's a track on there called Unbroken Spirit. And I had 2 singers and a keyboard player on this track, and a trumpet player. The trumpet player didn't come till later. The 2 singers I knew, and I told them what I wanted to sing. And then the keyboard player, I told them how I wanted the riff to go. They'd never met each other. Wow. They didn't know each other from Adam. The first time they met, we was in the studio. And within an hour and a half, we got this song done. And I told them exactly what I wanted to be. But one of the singers was someone who worked in the office with me. And after I organized everything, and she's looking at it, and I still haven't grasped on what I've done. She looked at me and she goes, you don't belong here. I mean, she goes, you don't belong in the office. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, you belong right here. This is where you belong. You don't belong doing what you're doing during the day. You belong right here. But she was watching me, and she watched me put another song together, and then she watched me put that song together, and she's like, yeah, I just, and you have to, I try to be as humble as I can.
Right. That part.
Because I don't, and a friend of mine had to tell me, she's like, at the end of that album, she goes, you're a producer, right? I'm like, no, I'm a poet. She goes, who put the album together? I said, well, I did. Who paid for everything? I said, I did. She goes, who arranged everything? Who told what the engineer to do? I said, well, me. She goes, yeah, you're a producer now. And I'm like, really?
That's what's up. Yeah. Those hidden gems.
Yeah, hey, man.
They be creeping on us, man, and telling
Yeah,
on
they
us.
be creeping on us, man. You know, but
Hey,
we like it's like the last time we were both together with Chris at that thing in Atlantic City, and we're like, well, we got a band here, and we got all these artists because I wasn't even supposed to hit the mic that day, and we're like, oh, let's do something free. Somebody said, oh, let's all free, and everybody just start passing the mic.
Pass the mic.
Pass the mic.
That's
Pass
man.
the
That
mic.
was beyond dope, man. That was beyond dope. I love impromptu, and I love spontaneous ciphers, and you know what I mean. That's all me. I'm all written all over it, and so for that to just come out and come the way it happened, man, I was like, whoa, we on.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. That was a good time. That was a good time.
So
I wish I had that on tape.
Yeah, right. We should have had that on tape because we was going in. But I want to give you a couple minutes to spit something for us. Give us a little KP. Put it out there on the air.
Okay. I got to keep it clean, right?
Listen, man, I want you to be KP.
Okay. I don't. Is there anything I do that you want to hear on purpose or no? No.
Man, listen.
Okay.
You make me go back through the scroll of decks. It's gonna be a.
I know. It's gonna be problems in situations, man. You know what? I don't want to get too. I'm gonna do this one because I know we're kind of crushed for time. I'm gonna do this one. I know off the top of my head because it's something I like to do, and it's something that I think we need to hear now because we got a very important election coming up. A very important election coming up, and no doubt it is. And you know, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, liberal, whatever you are, it's still an important election. And I wrote this. I always tell a story. I wrote this years ago, and I've added to it and taken away from it and added to it. But I wrote this when I was working at a pizzeria, and I was the only black guy there. We watched the opera movie. They were surprised I didn't know who the opera singer was, but I watched the movie and I liked it. And, you know, and then the next week we were watching Jeopardy question. The answer to the question was Rosa Parks. And when I said the answer, they didn't know who Rosa Parks was. I had to explain that to them. So it's called My America because it's about us all being in America and being Americans, but having different Americas. My America is a place where I live. My America is a place where I'll die. It's a place where we all look for that pie in the sky. My America has colors more than any other rainbow. You need to stand out for your true colors to show. If you have a dream, this is where you go. My country 'tis a theme, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. My America took red man's land to never give it back. It needed labor for free so that it enslaved the black. Being different in any way makes you subject to attack. Yo, step back. My America thinks justice is on the side, is arrogant to a fault and filled with pride. Hold on tight, we're all along for the ride. You fly by, you wait by, you wait by, you wait. My country is a thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing, sing. My America bore great people from my race. Let me see, we had inventors, entertainers. Hell, we had a president and those that walked in space. But it's very important that you know your place. What do you mean I got to get back to my place? My America may be different from where you grew, from who you are and what you do. Each America different, each America true, each America true, each America true, each America true. My country 'tis a thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing, sing. Everybody sings. Oh.
Poem. Everybody sing. My country 'tis of thee. Yo, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. It is very imperative that everybody gets out there and vote. Yes. You know, I said today, it's something when you have people who can undermine the cultures and undermine our women and undermine the things that we have built in this country constitutional wise that have been gradually even as small as they were, getting a little better, making a little sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Someone to come in and just destroy that and think that it's okay. And I find I find it haunting that we're willing to take a step back, but we're not paying attention to the words certain people speak. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
It's almost riotous to
Yes.
believe that these are the folks that should be leading our country when they're coming in creating turmoil and mass issues versus creating peace and serenity and being about the entire nation. Like, why are we trying to vote someone in?
We should not be a democratic country where there is a worry on whether you win or lose.
Right. What up, brother?
What up, brother? How you doing? This should not be an issue. Like, we are worried if this person wins, but we're also worried if this person loses.
That
either
part.
way, it might be a bad thing.
Right.
So there's one person who wants to, want to push the hate narrative. If they win or lose, either way, it's going to be bad for America,
man.
And you have to realize that. You don't have to agree with everything the other person is saying. I don't agree with everything the other person is saying. However, and there's some things in America in general that I don't agree on, on how we run things and everything. And I really think there should be a third party, not an independent party, but I think there should be a party for the people, by the people. And I think a lot of things should be changed about our government, should be totally reworked. But in the meantime, and in between time, since we're not doing that, we can't let our democracy go a total different shift away from everything.
Everything. Just throw it all in the trash.
We can't let one person take over everything. One person who only cares about themselves take over everything and just totally ruin our democracy. So it's not. Yeah. There's no, and for a lot of us, there's nowhere to go but here. We're not going anywhere else.
Absolutely.
You vote, fight for your country.
It's so much
peaceful way. Fight for your country. Don't tell a bunch of people to fight for the country and they storm the Capitol. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
But hey.
But then it's and I've been saying this as well, and we get ready to get out of here. But I've been saying this. This is the reason why we're necessary. Poets,
right?
We're necessary because we can relay the message in the reality form that it needs to be spoken. You know what I mean? That it needs to be.
I feel it is our job. That is our job. We don't get paid for it, but that is our job. And this has been our job of different performers and singers and poets and throughout history. Our job is to stand in the town square and tell the story of our people and make you realize what's going wrong. We are the voice. We are the voice. That's our job.
Man, listen, we got a lot of work to do, man. We got a lot of work to do, people.
A lot of work to do. A lot of work to do.
And so I'm hopeful. I'm definitely hopeful. Kenny, man, thank you for coming through and blessing us. Thank you for being on this platform with us tonight and showing us.
Oh, I had a good time, Al. I had a great time. Believe me.
Listen, Sean said if we were to be a part of the new political party, it would have to be no BS allowed party. BS meaning the blame shifting. No blame shifting.
Yeah. Sean is right. There's a lot of blame shifting. There's a lot of blame shifting back and forth, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop because you got to take care of the people. Take care of the people.
Yeah, absolutely. The people are the most important, and we actually fuel the love and the manifestation of this country, and that's what we need. We need leaders that are going to understand that, leaders that are going to consider that leaders that are going to hone that. You know what I'm saying? Not to be pointing the fingers like they dialing a phone. Nah, we're here to work together. You know what I mean?
We need leaders who are going to work together and admit when, okay, I might have made an error in judgment. I might have been wrong about this. Let's work together and do something else. That's what we need.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, listen, everybody. We are at the close of the evening, and it's been dope. It's been real. Sitting here talking and chopping it up with my big bro Kenny KP Walker Jr. Doing
anytime. You know I love it.
Yeah, man. Listen, we ain't done. We got way more ground to cover. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a blessing.
Yes. And I'm gonna get you and Beta together in the studio, and we're gonna make something for the Boys Out Productions. All right.
Word. So Beta, let's go, brother, because you know I'm ready. I know you're ready.
yeah, everybody's ready. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing and do what we gotta do, because it's a world of people out there that need what we have. And KP, thank you for rolling through. And
no problem. Thank you, that is a dope hat. That is a dope hat.
Shout out to Miss Khadijah Wright. Y'all want to get a brim? Go check my sis out. She does this. You know what I mean?
That is a dope hat. I like that.
Yeah, got a little feather on the side.
I see that. You pimping it.
I feel like my pop with this hat. You know?
Yeah, I know.
Always got a feather and some shoes.
There you go. That's old school. That's old school now.
No doubt. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been gracious. It's been grateful. I'm grateful, and it's been a dope evening with my big bro. Listen, y'all check him out. Words Out Productions, and a slew of other events that he got up under his sleeve.
Yeah, just check him on Facebook. On Facebook, I'm Kenny KP Walker Jr. And on Instagram, I'm Mr. Mr. Kenny KP Walker Jr. I'm also on TikTok and YouTube. And on Sunday nights at 8:00, check out the podcast I do with my sister, Pop Culture Kids. Really funny. My sister's hilarious. You like it.
Listen, I went back and watched some. I said, KP, wow, man. It's dope, though. The podcast is dope. Y'all make sure y'all go check them out. And listen, stick with us, man. We won't lead you wrong. We're always going to have some love for you. And we're always going to share this mic in this space. So for all of you out there, you know who it is. It's your big sis, LELL Vintage, right here on Stage Left. My brother, Kenny KP Walker Jr.
Please.
Yo, we got a lot more. Before I go, shout out to Highland Park Arts Mission. Shout out to Patterson Poetry Festival. We did the thing this weekend. And we got way more grounds to cover, and we're gonna continue to keep doing it. I need y'all to go on over to IG, hop on over there, click like, follow, share at 609 Stage Left, and on over here to Facebook, Stage Left. And we got some big business coming out for y'all, so y'all keep a fine-tuned ear and keep rocking with us. Next week, we got something special for y'all. You already know. Have a good evening, everybody. We're here. We came. We saw. We conquered. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace. God bless your soul and keep living.